The rules regarding the formation of variable as far as Python is concerned has been discussed completely. As far as the data types are concerned, we have discussed the formation of numeric data types as well as non-numeric data types. There are some more things to be discussed that will be discussed when there is a need. Now, when we are writing the program, we are supplying the data within the program itself. That kind of examples alone have been discussed so far. If we want to do the same calculation with a different set of data, then we have to change the program with the new data, and it has to be processed once again. Instead, if you want to keep the program constant and to supply the data at the time of execution, we have to know about the sequence data types as well as the various input format. This is what we are going to discuss now.
Suppose we want to divide 70 chocolates among 12 persons equally. Now how it has to be done? That is going to be seen now. Now here what we want is what is the number of chocolates each member will be getting, and if there is any undistributed chocolates, that also should be given. Here thing is no fractional chocolates are given. So that is the most important part here. How to do this? Let us see the algorithm as well as the program. Now here the step 1 is assign 78 as the value of total chocolates. So that is the variable name we are going to use here. And step 2 is assign 12 as the value of number of persons. Step 3 is divide total chocolates by number of persons and get the quotient alone, and assign the quotient value as the individual share. Step 4 is output this individual share. Step 5 is divide total chocolates by number of persons and get the remainder, and assign the remainder value as undistributed chocolates. Step 6 is output the undistributed chocolates. As we see in the last presentation, we have different arithmetic operators available to get the quotient as well as the remainder. We are going to use that in our present program. Now here the total chocolates is the first step, that is equal to 78. Here there are two words, total as well as chocolates. This has to be, this can be written without any space, or if you want to leave the space, then you have to use the underscore. So total chocolate 78, number hyphen of hyphen persons equal to 12. So individual share is equal to total chocolates / number of persons. So if you put that, you will get only the quotient alone. So print the individual share. So if you want to get the remainder, undistributed chocolates equal to total chocolates percentage sign number of persons. So it will give the undistributed chocolates. So you can print the undistributed chocolates. Now whether we have to write the variable names like this, it's not necessary. It depends on the individual usage or individual's decision. Now here I can say x is equal to 78, y is equal to 12, z is equal to x / y. And similarly d is equal to then I can put x percentage y. So like that, any data name can be used. It depends on the users alone. Now, here in the programs which you have discussed so far, to find the sum of four numbers or this distribution of chocolates among the individuals, we are giving the input within the program itself. So, if I have another number or another set of data, if I want to run for that or if I want to get the result for that, then I have to change the program statement itself. Within the program, I have to make the changes. I have to once again input this program, then get the results. In order to avoid this kind of thing, we can give the data at the time of execution. That is, we can, if we use some input statements, then we can give the input at the time of execution itself. So, how to use the input statement, how we are going to give the input in the Python program. To know that, we have to about the sequence data types. As I said earlier, we were discussing numeric data types. Now we are going to discuss about sequence data types. By sequence data types, it is learned that it consists of a set of data with one or more than one type of data. What I mean by that is, I can have three numbers, 78, 45, 35. So that is the thing. Or it is a group of characters like that. That is Ramasamy, Ramakrishnan. Like that, if you want to use that also, that is also going to be a sequence. So the letters are coming here. Or if I want to write Ramasamy, first mark is physics, second mark is chemistry, third mark is maths means. So that also that can be given. So this is one sequence. Similarly, 100 students' data are there means you are going to follow the same sequence. So this is called as a sequence data type. There are many types of sequence available in Python, but we are going to discuss the following three which are more important. Now, first one is strings. This is also called as non-numeric data, which includes alphabetic data as well as non-numeric. And the next one is tuple, and the third one is list. At present, we are going to discuss about strings. Then we will discuss about tuple as well as list using some other example. What is a string? String is nothing but a collection of valid characters of Python language. You can use any character. So in that case, it is called as a string. Once you define a variable to have the value as a string, then it is not possible to do arithmetic with the strings. Now, these alphabetic characters, A to Z, both uppercase and numeric case, are called as string constants. Here, one of the most operations that can be performed here is interchanging the values of one string to another string. So that is possible. That is what can be done using these string constants. Each character in a string is called as a constant. Suppose if I say Ramasamy, R is a string constant, A is a string constant, M, J, like that. Each character is a string constant. Now the general form of generating a value for a string variable is given below. That is, variable name is equal to valid Python character within quote sign. If you give a variable name, Now we know how to do the assignment statement. Variable name is equal to some expression. Here the expression is nothing but a single value which is represented within quote sign. So if you represent within quote sign, that value will be assigned as the value of variable name. So here you are having a string value as the value of a variable name. In that case, it cannot be used for calculation purpose. Now this rule is variable name is a valid name in Python, and valid Python character is all characters used in Python. Now the quote sign is, you can use a single quote or double quote, both are valid. Some example. Name 1. Within quotes I have written Jayasakti -Aja. And name 2 is within double quotes Vidula -Sri -Arya. Name 3 is Arunjunai -Swanik. Space Swanik. So here I have given some space. And the name 4 is, I have given numeric characters 1 to 9. Then I, B, C, D, E, R. Then name 4, the value of name 4 is these non-numeric values. It's only, even though numeric characters are used, it will be stored as a string. It cannot be used. The important rule in Python is, once a string is created, it cannot be modified or changed. What I mean by that is, if I say name 1 is equal to Jayasakti Aja, then I cannot modify that name. Alright, so for name 1 itself, I cannot reduce the number of characters in that or something like that, or it cannot be assigned to some other variable name. That's what here means. It cannot be modified or changed, but a portion of a string can be assigned to another variable. Some of the characters within this name can be stored as another variable name, or entire string can be used stored as another variable. If you get only portion of the thing, then that is called as slice. That is, you are going to get a certain number of characters alone, and it is going to be stored as the next variable name. Now, what is slice? That's what only certain number of characters alone is going to be taken from this string, and it is going to be stored as another variable name. So for this the syntax is, next variable name 2 is equal to variable name 1, starting position of the character to be copied, and the position of the character before which to be copied. You have to give these two. So in that case it will give the result. The name 1 is defined as Jayasakti Aja within quotes. Now here the first character J, the position of the first character J is 0, and A is 1, Y is 2, A is 3, S is 4, and another A is 5. What I mean to say here is, the characters, the counting of characters starts from 0 onwards. So 0, 1, 2, 3, like that only we have to count. Here, suppose I want only the first 5 characters, J, A, O, A, S. Then I have to write name 5 is equal to name 1 of 0, 5. So 0 indicates the starting position of the character to be copied, and 5 indicates the position of the character before which it has to be copied. That is, we have to copy up to 4. So if I say name 6 is equal to name 1 of 4, 6, we have to start from the 4th character. The 4th character is S, because we are starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have to copy before 6. That is, we have to copy 4 and 5 alone. So that means the name copied is SA. That is the value of the variable name 6 is SA. Now, if I use x is equal to input within parenthesis. Here, input is the statement that can be used to give the value at the time of execution. But one important thing is the value which we are going to give, whether it is numerical value or non-numerical value, anything, it will be treated as a string only. That means we can give the input only as string alone. That is, whatever value that has been given for this input statement will get a string data and store it as x. Even if you give the value as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. up to 0, 9, 8, then x will be hold the value within quote sign this. Even though all are numerical digits, it cannot be used for any calculations. It cannot be used because it is read as an integer. So we cannot use any arithmetic calculation. Only string manipulation can be done. Only string manipulation can be done, that we can see later. Suppose if I want to read numerical value as numerical data, then I have to put int. Int means it is an integer value. Then within bracket you have the statement input colon or input within parenthesis. If you give, then it will input a value and it will convert it to integer and store it as x. If you want to get a float value, so that is the floating point numerical data, then we had instead of int, you have to use float, float, within bracket those input statement. If you use, it will get a value and it will store it as a floating point value for the variable y. Now, if you use this kind of input statement, during the execution, it will simply wait for our data to be inputted through keyboard. So we may not know, if you are having more than one input statement, we may not know what the value it is wanted at that particular point unless we have a ready-made list. That is, this has to be given as the first value, this has to be given as the second value. If you have that kind of thing, then you can give the input. Now instead, if I want to, the indication that this particular value has to be given as an input. So in that case, I can say like this. Within input statement, that is within parentheses of the input statement, if you enclose anything within double quote sign or single quote sign, that value will be outputted and then it will wait for us to reply. That is, if I have an input as n is equal to integer input, within the input parenthesis I have put enter the value of n, that is enclosed within double quote sign. When it is executed, it will simply give the value as enter the value of n. So immediately I will give the value of n as an input and press the keyboard. It will read a value and it will store it as n. So any non-numeric data, if you want to be printed, we can use using the print statement itself. The non-numeric data that has to be printed should be enclosed within double quote sign or single quote sign. Print within quotes little coders will print little coders alone. Print marks in physics within quotes, then physics hyphen mark. It will print the marks in physics with semicolon. Up to that it will print. Then it will followed by the physics mark, that will be a numerical value. So this is in the input statement, print statement, but in the input also, if anything has to be printed, if you enclose within quote sign and then if you ask to input, it will display the thing which has been enclosed within that thing, and based on that we can give the input. Let us see an example now. Suppose we want to interchange the value of two variables. For example, two values 10 and 15 are there as stored as the value of A and B. Now A should be 15, B should be 10. So the value has to be interchanged. Now how it can be done? There are two algorithms are given here. Anyone can be done. Only thing is we are giving, there are so many possibilities. We have to update our knowledge using these different algorithms. Input the two values as value 1 and value 2. Store the value 1 as temp. That is, we are storing the value of 1 in the place, temporary place. Then store the value of 2 as value of 1. Value of 2 is stored as the value of 1. Then store the temp value as value 2. Then output the value 1 and value 2. Now this can be explained using an example. That is, suppose we are holding two books on our hand, one in each hand. We are having one book. We want to shift the book which is in your right hand to the left hand and which is available in the left hand to the right hand. What can be done? We can place the book which is on your right hand side on the table, shift the book which is on the left hand side to the right hand side, and then pick the value from the table, from the book which is available on the table using your left hand. So in that case, the books has interchanged. So this is the logic you see, which is used to interchange two values where we need a temporary location. Now, you see the statement which are used here. Value 1, it is let us assume it can be integer or floating point value. Let us assume it is a floating point value. So in that case, float, input, enter the first value. Value 2, float, input enter the second value. Like that, if you give within quotes, that will be displayed. So using that, you can give the appropriate values. Now, once you get the values, whether it is you have given the value correct or not, if you want to check that, you can use a print statement. The given values are value 1 and value 2. Now, as we said, we have to use or place 1 on the table like that, or 1 we have to put in a temporary location. So that is temp is equal to value 1. Now value 1 is equal to value 2. That is value 1 will be replaced by the value 2. Now value 2 is equal to temp. So value 2 will be replaced by the value of temp, which is nothing but the value of value 1. So the interchanged values are value 1 as well as value 2. This is an example for interchanging the values. Another algorithm is that is, I don't want to put it on the table. Then what I have to do? I have to use only both hands. Then I have to interchange the books which are available in the hands. What I can do? So I can put the book on the right hand side over the book on the left hand side. So two books are available in the left hand side. Now you pull the book down which is available on the down, and that is the original book which was placed on the left hand, and that can be if you pull it out, and if you place it on your right hand, the value will be interchanged. So this logic can be used in computers also. That is, first you are inputting the values as value 1 and value 2. Now you are placing the book on the left hand side. So the book which is available on the right hand side on the left hand side. Here it is nothing but you are adding these two values and that is available on the left hand side. If I have 10 on the right hand side and 15 on the right 10 on the right hand side and 15 on the left hand side. Now if you add these two and store it as the value of value 2, that means now 10 plus 15 is 25 will be available on the left hand side. Now what is the value 1 now? Value 1 is 15 itself. So 10 itself. So value 1 is 10 now. So you subtract this value from value 2 and store as the result as value 1. So if you pull that value, then remaining value will be the result as value 2. Now you output the value 1 and value 2. The program is value 1 is equal to float, input the value for first value and the second value. Then you are checking whether both the values are the given correct values. Now value 2 is equal to value 1 plus value 2. As we said, the equal sign is, the meaning of equal sign is replaced by. So value 1 and value 2 is added and it is stored as the value of value 2 itself. That means you have changed the value 2 but you have not changed the value 1. It remains as such. So now we want to change the value 2 from the present value of value 2. If you subtract value 1, you will get the new value 1. That is, value 1 is value 2 minus value 1. That means you have whatever is available on the left hand side has been shifted to the right hand side. So that is the value 1. But what about the value on the left hand side? It is having the sum of these two values. So we have to subtract the present value of value 1 from this value 2 so that you can get the value 1 itself, value 2, correct value 2. So once you get this, you are automatically interchanging these values. So there are two algorithms are given. You can think about so many algorithms. The idea here is, for a problem, there need not have to be only one type of algorithm and one type of solutions. There may be different type. We have to use depending upon the need. So if I say that without using any other temporary location, temporary variable I want to store, then naturally the second algorithm has to be used. Otherwise we can use the first algorithm itself. That some simple storing operation alone is involved, but here some arithmetic operation is also involved. Here, let us assume, now we have interchanged two variables alone. Let us assume there are 5 variables, or in general n variables. Here, let us assume for a particular case 5 variables, or 5 values. Now you have to write a program so that it is circulated. That is, as it is shifted now. So 1 is stored as the second value, second is stored as the third value, third is stored as the fourth value, fourth is stored as the fifth value, and fifth is stored as the first value. Or the reverse order. Any one logic can be tried, and you can write an algorithm as well as the program for this. After that we can see the other important things. Another problem is also given here. A robot is placed in front of a wall at a distance of 37 meters. If the robot moves towards the wall at a speed of 3 meters per minute, how long will it take the robot to hit the wall? Now what we have to give is, it is taking 10 minutes and 30 seconds or 40 minutes and 12 seconds. Like that. Whatever the result that comes, that has to be printed. You can try a program for this alone. Thank you.